That's the intro music. Yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome in to the 5-year anniversary edition of the video here, where we're going to talk about who you should pick as the free officer. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about yet, head over to your claims chest and you're going to see a 5-year anniversary gift for you to claim. Inside, that will be 10,000 5th-year anniversary gift tokens that will allow you to choose an officer from a selected group. And depending on what level you are, that group ranges all the way up to like 52 different people right here. So I want to try to cover what's valuable for you as the player, depending on what level you are and what you should do. So before I go into all of those, I'm going to back out real quick because I need to talk about our low level players first, because they have it a little bit different. Whereas most of you who watch this video will see epics, the low levels have rares. And I'd actually argue that in terms of general value, in terms of like getting the best bang for your buck, or at least having the best options, they got the best option now. Saru's terrible over here, but in terms of who they have, there's actually some very fantastic options. But if you're a low-level player, this is my level 16 account, I would recommend one of these three: Yuki, Moreau, or Beverly Crusher. And I would focus on Moreau. Whole point being is field training will actually let you get Moreau to tier 1. But tier 3 is when, combined with Pike, you start getting max mitigation. So working on Moreau is always good. And then obviously, as a low-level player, the higher you can get an officer with stats really helps those low-level ships and gives them a little bit more oomph, because generally speaking, they're very weak. So they need as much help as they can get. I'm very curious to see what y'all end up deciding to do, because tell me. But if you want to be more of a PvP player, low-level, Yuki is a fantastic option as a low-level PvPer. Or if you want to prepare for your Vidar grind, 7 of 11. But recommendation, generally speaking, is Moreau. Now, if you're a player in the 20s, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to go with Pike. So kind of in the same vein here. Now, there's a couple of options, and y'all have to make this decision for yourself if you're in the 20s. Number one, unlocking Pike is very important. Why is unlocking Pike important? Well, handy dandy graphic, because Pike Moreau Chin, whether you're in the 10s, 20s, 30s, and for a lot of the 40s, is the most important grind crew in the game. It, generally speaking, is the best grind crew. But you need to unlock Pike. Now, field training will give you half of Pike, but not the rest of him. And depending on your RNG, it could be really tough to get him through pulling from the ultra chest and everything. Now, you don't have to get Pike. You can, roll the dice and go through your ultras and get something else, and that way, or get Pike through that way, so you can spend these tokens on something that isn't Pike. But if you're curious why Pike is so valuable, remember I just talked about getting Moreau at level 16, level 17, etc. Well, you want Pike because of Pike Moreau Chin. And once you max out Chin, you have a lot of value. Quick reminder for all players, because we even had some high levels who didn't remember this. If you actually back out and go into your officer menu, you can actually use Latinum to max out Chin. Standard recruits, not premium rev, standard recruits can be purchased for 400 Latinum per full pull. And that way you can use Latinum to try to unlock Chin, thus giving you Pike Moreau Chin the best PvE group for low-end gameplay or lower-level gameplay. And it will still be effective all the way up to level 51 hostiles. You can always use Pike Moreau for other things as well. Now, here comes the other part. Who all do I recommend beyond that? So if you are in the mid, late 20s, let's say you already have Pike, but you want to prepare for the future. Quick little heads up. This basically goes for everybody, because I believe most of the officers in here are pretty worthless. Basically, all of these are kind of worthless, except this guy. So if you are not a, level 40 plus player, let's say you're level 35, 33, etc., then I want you to unlock Benjamin Sisko. He has great sourcing level 40 plus through the Bajoran faction store, but really no sourcing at all anywhere else, except for events like this. So if you want to greatly increase your Armada runs and have a much better Armada officer immediately, Sisko is a fantastic piece, giving you, as you can see down here, criticals as well as mitigation up top. He is a very, very good Armada officer, and you'll notice as you get deeper into the 20s and in the 30s, Armadas are a key part of the game. In fact, you're probably going to have a lot of people who are going to be getting Sisko as a lower level player. Now, if you are 40 plus, that logic no longer applies, because you can pretty easily grab Sisko through your Bajoran faction tree. But if you're below level 40, especially in the mid early 30 range or even up into the high 20s, this can be a fantastic pickup for you to give you a lot of value overall. Now, let's talk about what other valuable officers could be in here. This is probably the one that's going to be for, I would say, a lot of players, and that's Odo. Believe it or not, Odo is extremely valuable, but has no sourcing at all except for stuff like this. So generally when we have these types of event stores, I'm always going to try to focus on things that have no sourcing or terrible sourcing. In fact, I'm actually very curious. Comment down below, if you watch this video, did you have or do you have Odo before this event store? And did you choose to get him? Because most players don't have Odo. There is no way. So besides him randomly appearing in treasuries that some people can get and some people can't, etc., no real way to get Odo. So I highly recommend it, and he's great for all players. He's actually a big part of the heavy hitter SLB meta, to most effective tactic available, to winning or placing in that leaderboard. You combine him with Hugh of Alana Torres, and you get oomph in your power because of that ability right there. Now, the officer ability isn't terrible, but most people don't ever bother with that. Big thing most people like is the below deck ability. There's nothing wrong with being a valuable below deck officer. Now, let me roll back because that kind of applies to everybody, but what also is very good, I'm gonna scroll back over here real quick and find one of the most important cards in the game, even though this is actually like one of the oldest cards in the game. We've had this officer around for a long time, but that doesn't make her bad. So 5 of 11, very important to get maxed. If you are anywhere in the game, this is a good choice. Doesn't matter if you're level 28, 38, 58. This is a good choice for you to go and pick up because of this ability right here, which works on loot grinding for rep, armadas, whatever. And then up top for mitigation, a very common early armada officer because of the captain's ability. And then this ability will increase your armada loot. And then players love it for rep grinding because, well, remember, 10 mil lock, but then 1 bill lock, then 15 bill lock, then 500 billion lock. Anything that gives more rep is a positive. And as you can see, maxes out at 100% when you max her. And I currently have her at tier 4. Now, you can decide to get what you want for there, but I would say those are the top 3 most valuable in terms of generic with Cisco, Odo, and 511, but there is some value in others as well. If you look around, you're probably going to say, hey, what about Jayla? Jayla has real no use in the game today, so I would say no. I mean, I would say no. He's in transporter patterns. No, no, no. Yes, for specific players in the 20s. No, no, no. Transporter patterns. Yes. No, no, no. Transporter patterns. No, no. If you really just wanted to max, like if you're very close to maximum out, sure. No, 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 no. Honestly, not terrible, but not a top pick. Not terrible, not a top pick. Also in transporter patterns, also sourced through the Cerritos meta. No, 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 no. Okay, yeah, maybe. No, maybe. Lorca has bad sourcing, so kinda. But again, all the other ones I've already mentioned are more important. No, 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 no. Yes, just if you want it for base rating purposes. Absolutely not. No, no. Yes, as we already said. And these are all PvP officers. Jean-Luc Picard, if you just want to unlock him. But remember, he also is in transporter patterns now. No, no, no. Yes. And then again, strike team, and then no, and then no. So that's my take. That's my opinion on what I would recommend. Those are my top 3 officers. There is some value there. The big thing is trying to balance what you can use to unlock or tier up now versus what is readily or easily sourced, because a lot of those are in the transporter patterns. Like you see here with Jean-Luc Picard and Tendi and Barkley and LaForge and Rom. So there are sourcing for a lot of these officers already. See, literally almost all of these are in the options, but some of them are not. Odo has no sourcing. Cisco has no sourcing. Low level 40. Pike is very difficult to get for a low level player. And 5 of 11 is just simply so valuable, you want to max her out as quickly as possible. So, hope this video helps you out and answer the questions that you needed answering. This is your 5th year anniversary. Short, real quick aside, very disappointing because we literally did the same thing last year. Last year, we got a free officer. Last year, they gave away a couple of computers. This is a huge letdown for a 5-year anniversary. Like, come on, Scopely. Like, you made it 5 years, and this is the best you could put together? This is it? Woo! You're supposed to make 5 years a big deal, man. Like, so many games can't do what you've done, and this is it. Don't worry. Packs have 150% of their normal value. Hope you guys and gals have a fantastic day. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. Catch you on the next RJ Fleekaman video. And don't worry, December actually has some legitimately cool stuff coming. So we'll see you then. Well, we'll actually see you tonight because I'll be streaming on Twitch. Bye!
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.